you going to have any breakfast?
Oh, I don't feel like eating anything.
Well, where are you going? Your first class isn't until 10 o'clock.
Well, I was up late last night. I didn't get to sleep, so I think I'll just go out early.
Are you still bothered about the possible situation between Becky and Russ?
Situation? Is that what you call it? Seems more like an impropriety to me. How could they have done such a thing to Laurie? I don't understand how someone can treat someone that way. Not a best friend and a fiancé?
Paul, calm yourself. Till you know what really has happened, you mustn't react in such a hasty manner.
Are you trying to take back what you implied last night?
No, that's only implications.
Well, I just can't sit idly by, Helen. I've got to do something about it. I won't be able to rest until I do.
What do you propose to do?
I don't know yet.
Suppose you do find out that Russ and Becky have been having some
An affair? Behind Laurie's back? I'll confront Russ with it.
Oh, no, you mustn't do that. That would be a mistake.
Someone's got to do it, Helen.
Not you. That's Laurie's business.
Okay, you're right. I'll see Laurie first. But if it's true, I've got to say something to her.
Oh, Paul, please, take my advice. Let Laurie and Russ work this out for themselves.
There are other people's feelings involved here. Becky's, for instance.
And yours? Paul, if this is a triangle, you must not get involved. Think of what it could do to your own life. What about your lecture series in London?
My lecture series will just have to wait. Helen, I'm involved in this situation because of my feelings for the people caught up in it.
Let's be honest, Paul. You're talking about your feelings for Laurie Davidson, aren't you?
Listen to this, Diaz. Listen to this. This is to inform you that a shipment of heroin worth $100,000 is going to be smuggled on board a Dearborn Express truck to Philadelphia this Friday night. The truck will stop at about 7:30 at Gino's Diner on Highway 8A and Mill Pond Road. Check inside the spare tire. The driver doesn't know that the heroin is to be smuggled in the truck. He's been told to eat at the diner. The transfer will take place while he's inside.
Do you think that's legit?
Well, I don't know, but you can be sure we're going to find out. Bothers me. Why this note? Why right now?
What do you mean, Captain?
The mob just got hit with a waterfront raid. Think they'd slow down on their activity, lay low. A drug shipment right now just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I see. You think maybe it's a setup?
For what? Maybe there's some trouble in the mob, some infighting.
Well, whoever wrote that note, he sure knows what's happening inside. Bueno, when do we act?
First things first. I want you to check on the whereabouts of Jeff Cummings. Now, Davidson told me that he disappeared when he was let out on bail. Now, he might not have written this note, but his disappearance could have something to do with it. Now, we don't know that until we investigate. In any case, once you find him, you keep him under surveillance, at least until this tit checks out.
Right.
Now, he might not have written this note. In any case, somebody else might think he did. And if somebody thinks that he squealed, opened up his mouth, they're going to come down pretty hard on him. If they do that, I want to get them before they get him.
Hi, Beck.
Hi.
Come on, don't tell me you're still in a bad mood.
Me? What have I got to be in a bad mood about? Everything is just perfect.
Come on, give me one of those little smiles that you always have. Come on. Please. That's a little better. Work on it.
Guess what? You were looking at a man with money. M-O-N-E-Y, money.
Yeah, I didn't know football players knew how to spell.
Yeah, I just got paid, and I'll tell you something else, too. It feels good not being on the short end for a change.
Russ, are you sure you can handle college and this job at the same time?
Yeah, it's no problem so far. I just make hauls every now and then, and make some pretty good money from it, too. I got a haul coming up this Friday night, going to Philly. I should be back in time to catch the game on Saturday. Can't ask for much more than that. So why don't you come on out with me and help me spend my first check?
I don't know.
Come on. We'll get some dinner down at Elmire's. I could go for a nice thick steak right now.
You seem to forget what happens when we just have dinner.
Becky, this is just a friendly night out and dinner. That's all.
Yeah? Okay. But first, I gotta go to Francis and drop off a book. He's frantic.
You got it. Come up by my room when you're done, okay? That'll give me time to primp. Catch you about half hour?
Okay. Half hour.
Bye.
You feeling any better, honey?
Not really, Mom.
Well, now that you know about Becky and Russ, I'm sure it isn't an easy thing to have to face. But you have to admit, it certainly wasn't easy for Becky to come here and confess. That took courage.
More courage than Russ apparently has. Why hasn't he come forward? Why hasn't he faced me with the truth?
I'm sure he will in due time, honey.
You know, I was hoping he wouldn't be like the rest of them.
Who?
Men. I tried with Russ, Mom. I tried so hard to make our relationship something special. Different from all the other ones he'd had. For a while it was. We trusted each other. We didn't need anyone else. I didn't. It's that double standard thing. A man can do whatever he pleases, as long as he's discreet about it. It's socially acceptable. But a woman's expected to be loyal.
Times have changed, Laurie, and not all for the better. There aren't many moral restraints put on women these days, except for women like you and me.
But I've been deceived, Mom. And it hurts. It hurts bad.
I know how it must feel, honey. Love is the strongest emotion we have. And when it's true, it's the most wonderful thing in the world. But when the one you love hurts you, whether he means to or not, it's the worst cut of all. I think you're feeling the way you do because of who you are and what you believe.
I know. I live by a high set of standards.
Yes. Sometimes we expect others to do as we would do. You were taught that a woman shouldn't give herself outside of marriage. Physical love between two people is precious and can only be blessed by God in marriage. And that's the way it should be.
You know, I think he was starting to change. To find our faith. To become the kind of man that I wanted to be with for the rest of my life. Someone that I could trust. Yeah, he'd had affairs before, but he was honest with me. He told me he had. I thought that was all behind him. I thought all that he wanted and needed was me. I was so sure, Mom. I guess I wasn't enough for him.
I'm sure Russ still loves you. Laurie, if you give up on him now, you're going to be forcing him into Becky's arms. Do you want that?
It's already happened. It wasn't like the old flings that he had. It was different. I didn't know any of those girls, and I didn't want to know them. But we're talking about Becky, my best friend, my roommate. There's something dirty about that. Something cheap.
I know what you mean, Lori. But I don't believe that Russ or Becky deliberately set out to hurt you. And I think you should try to forgive them. What they did wasn't something they planned to do. It just happened. Russ strayed from his commitment to you. He fell off that pedestal you put him on. But can't you find it in your heart to forgive him?
I know I should. But I don't know if I'll be able to. It's hard. It's so hard.
Doing the right thing usually is. You know, Lori, when we do something wrong, we hurt God. But somehow He forgives us. We need to learn to forgive each other, even if it's hard.
I believe that, Mom. I really do. I'm so numb right now. The only thing that I feel is that my heart is breaking.
Hey, I thought I told you half an hour. Not even ready yet. Yeah, Beck, give me a break, would you? Oh, Paul. I was expecting Becky, I'm sorry.
Obviously.
Hey, well, come on in. Make yourself comfortable, huh? Have a seat.
No, I don't think I'll be staying. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
No, I'm just going out to get some dinner, that's all.
With Becky.
Yeah, with Becky.
I see.
You want to join us?
No, I don't want to intrude.
No problem. We're just going to go down to Almeyer's for some steaks.
Yeah. Russ, have you been down to see Laurie lately?
Yeah, sure. Just saw her the other day. You know, she's coming back to Kingsley pretty soon.
I know. Listen, I want to ask you a very serious question.
Okay, go ahead, ask.
Are you in love with Laurie?
What kind of question is
A
that?
simple question. How about a simple answer?
Of course I'm in love with Laurie. We're going to be married, remember?
I've talked to her mother.
Oh, yeah?
She told me about Becky's visit and what she admitted.
Yeah. What might that be, huh?
You know exactly what that might be. Becky told Laurie about the two of you.
And what about the two of us?
Is it true? Is it true?
Listen, Paul,
How could you do such a thing to Laurie? What kind of hypocrite are you?
All right, it was a mistake. It wasn't supposed to happen.
Laurie's been through hell, and this is the way you treat her? This is the way you pay back her respect for you? By deceiving her?
Well, it's not as if we just grabbed the pencil and paper and planned the whole thing. It just happened, that's all.
I can't believe it. Here you are pretending to be devoted to her. Pretending to share her faith. Just so you can marry her. And all the while, you're running around behind her back with her best friend. Don't you have any guilt? I can't believe you. You've not only deceived Laurie, but her entire family. They trusted you. It's the most selfish, irresponsible thing I've ever heard of.
Hey, listen, you know, I don't think I need any of this from you.
And how about Becky? What did you have to say to coax her into it?
You leave Becky out of this.
How can I? She's the only one with guts enough to come out with the truth. Now, come on, tell me, Weaver. Would you have married Laurie anyway, keeping this little secret to yourself? You know, the trouble with you is, you don't know a good thing when you got it. You had to go and ruin it, didn't you? You had to be greedy. One woman wasn't enough. You took Laurie's love and you threw it right back in her face.
I don't think any of this.
Yeah, I, me, my. It's the story of your life, isn't it?
You don't know what you're talking about. It's not like that,
Someone
man.
ought to punch you right in the face. But I won't lower myself to your level. Oh, wait. You know, on second thought, maybe I will. Why don't you grow up, Weaver?
Why do I get the feeling I just missed something? Ooh.
Well, he packs a pretty good punch for an English professor.
What happened?
I had it coming.
He found out, didn't he?
Yeah, he found out.
Lori?
No, he called Mrs. Davidson. She told him about your little visit with Lori. Oh,
I've
man.
never seen Paul like that.
Yeah, I knew it was building up to this. He's been in love with Lori for a long... Hey!
Sorry.
For a long time. I had that one coming to me, Beck. I'm the cause of everybody's trouble, man. I'm even my own worst
Come on,
enemy.
Russ, don't say that. Come on. You can't blame yourself for what happened between us. I'm just as much to blame. I told Lori that.
Yeah, but I should have been the one to tell her. Should have been me the one telling her the truth. I guess I'll just have to explain it to her. I guess that's it, huh? I guess that Lori and I are, through.
Paul, you look as if you've lost your best friend.
Not quite, but almost.
Paul,
I feel like such a complete fool.
what happened to your hand?
I banged it into Russ Weaver's jaw.
You what?
Oh, what a stupid thing to do.
You had a fight with Russ?
Not exactly a fight, I just knocked him down.
Oh, Paul.
I went over to see him, to confront him with what I'd found out about him and Becky.
How could you be so sure?
I called Terry. She said that Becky had told Laurie everything that had happened.
Oh, that must have been very difficult for her, for both of them.
When I was sure that Becky and Russ had slept together,
Well, I hope that you told him what was bothering you before you hit him.
Oh, Helen, I feel like such an idiot. I tried to control myself. I wanted Russ to tell me exactly in his own words what had happened, but my emotions got the best of me. I saw red, I yelled at him, and before I knew it, I decked him.
Well, judging from the look of you, he didn't hit you back, I see.
Thank goodness. Can you believe it? An all-American tight end? Me? He would have killed me. I'm lucky I'm not in traction. Oh, and the worst thing about it is, as I was leaving, Becky came in. I didn't say a word to her. I completely ignored her. I was so embarrassed.
Well, I think that when this thing calms down a little bit, you can go over and apologize.
How can I? What could I say to Russ?
Well, I think a simple apology would do.
Oh, why did this have to happen? This is the last thing in the world that I wanted. I'm supposed to be the man of reason, and here I am going around acting like a...
Like a jealous boyfriend.
Exactly. Oh, Helen. Love, jealousy, and infatuation, and the college professor turns into the campus idiot.
Did Russ say anything at all?
I didn't give him a chance to. In fact, I think I got the distinct impression that he was glad I hit him.
Oh, well, that's very understandable. He probably is feeling very guilty. Under the circumstances, he probably felt he had it coming.
Actually, I felt pretty good after I hit him. Now I feel like a jerk!
Well, a little ice on that hand and a small glass of sherry should do wonders to restore the man of reason.
Oh, thank you, Helen.
From what, may I ask?
For being here and being you.
Hi. Dinner almost ready?
Just about. We'll start as soon as Peter gets home from soccer practice. Why don't you try to relax?
Oh, I wish I could, honey, but I can't. I stopped by to see Captain Russo late this afternoon, and there's still no sign of Jeff. They searched everywhere, no clues at all.
Do you think something's happened to him?
No, at least I don't think so. Look, I'll drive around a few of the joints after dinner and see if I can find him.
I wish you would, honey, for Liz's sake. I'm worried about him.
Oh, so am I. You know, deep down inside, I feel sorry for the guy. I wish I could reach him.